Hello. Good morning.
Good
and
morning.
Welcome to Coffee with Cristina. We got our cups of coffee. I got my iced coffee. Heidi here has her hot coffee. I got a smaller mug this time because the last one covered my whole face every time I took a drink. Anyway, I'm Cristina McInnes, and I am here with Coffee with Cristina. Today we're going to talk about caregiver burnout. I have a guest with me here. This is Heidi Slinker.
Hello.
Among other things that she does, she is a caregiver. She's awesome, and I have her here to talk about caregiver burnout. So Heidi, welcome to Coffee with Cristina.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to first ask you to introduce yourself a little bit, talk a little bit about yourself and your experience with caregiving, and then we'll get into caregiver burnout.
Well, my name is Heidi Slinker, and I have worked in caregiving in the medical field probably for about 10 years collectively. I started out after high school. I worked for a while as a CNA. I worked at a nursing home facility, and it is a difficult job. I loved the work. I loved working with people. My favorite part of caregiving is just that you have the ability to make people feel like they matter. You
Absolutely.
make the difference, because there's caregivers that maybe don't put some good energy into it and make people feel good about themselves.
And some people don't have family either to help
Exactly.
out. So maybe a caregiver is their only contact with somebody for that day. So caregiving is very important.
It is.
It's very important among all age levels because, we need help throughout life. Sometimes we're in accidents or, it doesn't matter the age. Somebody is always going to need help. And caregiving is so important. And I think a major problem is burnout.
Absolutely.
And so, Heidi, what are like some of the things that you observed being a caregiver out in the field that would describe burnout? Like symptoms, whether it be a family member being the primary caregiver or a hired caregiver. What are the...
Well, symptoms are just when you're physically exhausted, emotionally, mentally. Yes. The symptoms could be that you start to withdraw from your family. You don't want to do things on your time off. You just stay home. The symptoms are just the stress affects your body.
Yeah.
You could anything from headaches to just feeling completely overwhelmed and hopeless. It is a serious issue because
for sure.
People
and I think
take care of
a
themselves.
lot of family members, like you and I have talked about, family members especially that are taking care of their loved ones, I think because not only do they have the emotional attachment to that person, they're not able to enjoy spending time with them because they're too busy taking care of their needs. And I think sometimes that also builds resentment.
Yes.
And that can affect, their relationship. And, it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, it's like a cycle because you feel awful for feeling resentment. When you get to that point, we want to give our loved ones the best care available. And we think that we're the only ones that could provide that sometimes. So we try to do everything, and we end up getting burnt out because you can't focus all of your energy into one person. You need to focus some of that into yourself in order to provide care for them.
Absolutely.
And when you're exhausted and they're in need, sometimes people start feeling negative and they're like, oh my gosh, this again, or whatever the situation is. So yeah, that negativity just builds up, and then we're not providing the best care for them anymore because they could feel that energy,
and they
whether
feel
you say
like
it
they're
or
a
not.
burden, and
Yes.
people I think, start to feel bad about that,
Absolutely.
even though the family member or primary caregiver has no intention of that.
Yeah.
But there definitely are resources out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's home cares, which provide respite care. So, for example, if a family member needs to take a day off because, number one, they just need a break, or they need a few hours off, or maybe they have their own doctor's appointments or other things that they want to take care of. So respite care gives them that leeway so their loved one is still being looked after. And then that gives the caregiver a chance to look after themselves as
yes. Well. It's so important to use resources. The first step is definitely find somebody that you trust, somebody that you can confide in, because you need to be able to talk about things in order to get that first step in on taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And so finding resources like respite care is very vital, even if it's just having another friend help out, because I'm the type of person that sometimes, I guess if I were in that situation, I would want to do it all. And then I would feel guilty if I wasn't giving it my all, or if I invited somebody else to help, it would make me feel like I'm letting that person down. But you're not. You're letting yourself down because you're doing too much. And there's so many people that try to do too much.
Oh yeah, overdoing it, I think, is definitely a problem, and that definitely leads to burnout.
Yeah.
And burnout goes across the board. In this particular podcast, it's all about caregiving. So with that, I wanted to share with the community that here in Yuma, we actually have some caregiver support groups that are available to the public for free, whether you're a caregiver professionally or whether you're a family member caregiver. Hospice of Yuma offers one-on-one or group support that happens once a month on Wednesdays, and it's in person. And I'll be posting that flyer up on Facebook and attaching it with this. And so Hospice of Yuma, Gina Murrieta is the person of contact, and they hold their meetings at Experience Grace Bible Fellowship on 4th Avenue. But like I said, I'll be posting the flyers up. And then WACOG also offers a caregiver support group. Theirs is online. It is also on Wednesdays, but it's every other Wednesday. And so for those of you that would like to go in person, it's great. And then you also have the option of going online. The one with the WACOG, it's actually a 10-module group of classes. It's about an hour long each one, but they go over some fantastic things from introduction to creative indifference, giving the caregiver guilt the boot. I mean, they just have great topics. The host of that, Elaine Sanchez, she is a speaker and co-founder of caregiverhelp.com. So there's lots of help out there, and these are free resources that are locally, available here in Yuma. So we just want to invite you, if you feel like you're getting to that point, or maybe you know somebody that's getting to that point of caring for a loved one and they just need a little bit more support, have them reach out to one of these support groups. I think it's in their best interest.
Absolutely, yeah.
I want to raise our cup to coffee. I hope you're all enjoying your coffees out there. And I think on that note, we're going to close. I wanted to let you guys know next week we have a special treat. We'll be talking with the Humane Society of Yuma, and we'll be discussing the importance and the value of companion animals, primarily to the elderly. We have a fantastic group of people that work over there that save, rescue animals that need help, and we can really make that match. And if a companion animal is good to have around, which usually they are.
Yes.
Anyway, we can make that connection. So that's for next week, next Tuesday at 11. And if you guys have any other ideas, questions, comments, please feel free to post them. I am available all the time. I will respond to any comment that is given. I appreciate all the support of everybody watching. And it's really exciting to get out there in the local community and make this podcast and let people know what resources are available. So, have anything else to add, Heidi?
No, just make sure you love yourself and take care of yourself so you can take care of others.
Absolutely. I'll coffee to that one. Well, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.